Welcome to The Critical Path, Project Management and Leadership in Complex Environments. Episode 34, Influence Without Authority. How to move people when you don't own the decision. In project environments, the person who needs something to happen is often not the person with formal control. You may need design teams, suppliers, finance, commercial, safety, engineering, operations, or senior stakeholders to move in a certain direction, but they don't report to you. This is where project leadership becomes more than planning, reporting, and governance. It becomes influence, not manipulation, not politics for the sake of politics, but the ability to create alignment, build trust, and help people choose the right course of action when the organizational chart does not give you direct power. Influencing without authority is one of the most important skills in project leadership because most projects are delivered through networks, not hierarchies. A project manager might own the schedule, the risk, the reporting cycle, and the delivery rhythm, but they rarely own all the people, decisions, budgets, suppliers, or technical trade-offs needed, to deliver the outcome. In a matrix organization, authority is distributed. Engineering owns the design. Finance owns cost control. Commercial owns contracts. Functional managers own people. Senior leaders own strategic priorities. Suppliers own part of the delivery chain. The project manager sits in the middle, trying to integrate all of it. That means influence becomes the operating systems of delivery. The first principle is credibility. People are more likely to follow someone who understands the work, respects the constraints, and doesn't simply escalate every problem. Credibility is built by being prepared, knowing the detail, asking good questions, and following through. If you say you will come back with an answer, come back. If you raise a risk, make sure it is real. If you challenge a team, make sure you understand their pressures first. The second principle is alignment. Influence is much easier when people can see how your request connects to their goals. A system engineer may not be motivated by, we need this for the monthly report, but they may respond to, this decision protects the technical baseline and avoids rework later. A commercial lead may not respond to, the project needs that, but they may respond to, this reduces contractual exposure. A supplier may not respond to pressure, but they may respond to a clear view of dependencies, priorities, and consequences. The third principle is framing. Good project leaders don't just present problems, they frame decisions. They make complexity easier to act on. Instead of saying, we are late, they say, we have 3 options. Recover through additional resource, reduce scope, or accept a milestone movement. Each has a cost, risk, and a stakeholder impact. That changes the conversation from blame to choice. The fourth principle is stakeholder strategy. Influence is not built in the meeting where decision is required. It is built before the meeting. It is built through one-to-one conversations, early warnings, informal alignment, and understanding where resistance is likely to come from. If the first time a senior stakeholder hears about a major risk in a governance board, the project leader has probably left it too late. A real-world example can be seen in major aerospace or defense integration programs. Imagine a project delivering a complex mission system where software, hardware, safety assurance, cyber requirements, supplier deliveries, and customer acceptance all need to converge. The project manager identifies that a late design change requested by a customer could create knock-on effects across qualification, test readiness, cost, and schedule. The project manager may not have the authority to reject the change. Engineering may say it is technically possible. The customer may want the capability. Commercial may be concerned about contract variation. The supplier may say they can support it but only with additional time. Senior leadership may want to protect the milestone. A weak response will be to simply push everyone harder or escalate with emotion. A stronger response is to influence through evidence and alignment. The project manager brings the right people together, maps the impact, separates facts from assumptions, and present options. Option 1. Accept the change now and move the test milestone. Option 2. Defer the change to a later build. Option 3. Accept a partial implementation with control risk. Each option is linked to cost, safety, technical maturity, customer value, and schedule impact. That is influence without authority. The project manager is not commanding the organization. They are helping the organization make a better decision. There is also an important leadership angle here. Influence requires trust, and trust requires intent. People can tell when you are trying to win a personal argument versus when you are trying to protect the program. The best project leaders influence by making other people successful. They give credit. They reduce ambiguity. They remove blockers. They help teams understand the wider picture. Influence also requires emotional discipline. In complex projects, there will be resistance. People will disagree. Some will protect their function. Some will avoid bad news. Some will delay decisions. The project leader's role is not to react personally, but to stay focused on the outcome. Calm persistence is often more powerful than positional authority. A successful practical model is this. Before trying to influence someone, ask 4 questions. What do they care about? What pressure are they under? What evidence will change their mind? What decision do I actually need from them? Those 4 questions shift the mindset from how do I get them to do what I want to how do I create the conditions for the right decision. That is the difference between authority and influence. Authority can force compliance. Influence creates commitment. And in complex project delivery, commitment is far more valuable. This week, choose one stakeholder you need to influence but don't formally control. Don't start with your request. Start with their goals, their needs. What are they measured on? What risk are they carrying? What will make your request easier for them to support? Then reframe your message. Connect your need to their priorities. Bring options, not just problems. Be clear about the decision required. And where possible, speak to them before the formal meeting. Influence without authority is not about being louder. It's about being more useful, more credible, and more aligned to the outcome than the noise around the project. Just to conclude, in modern project environments, authority is rarely clean, simple, or complete. Delivery depends on people, functions, suppliers, and stakeholders who often sit outside your direct control. That is why influence is not a soft skill. It's a delivery skill. The best project leaders don't rely only on escalation or job titles. They build credibility, understand motivations, frame decisions clearly, and create alignment around the outcome. So the next time you feel you don't have the authority to make something happen, ask a better question. Have I built enough trust, clarity, and shared purpose for people to choose the right action? That is where real project leadership begins. Thanks for listening to The Critical Path, Project Management and Leadership in Complex Environments. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow or rate the show on Spotify and share it with colleagues who work where reliability matters most. See you on the next episode of The Critical Path.